Well, hi everybody. I'm John Ritland, and this is my review of WWE Nitro 2000. No, actually, it's not. That's unfair. This is more like Thunder or WCW Saturday Night, the later editions. It's actually WWE Raw Lexington or WWE Raw Fistington. In fact, that's what I'm going to call it because it was built around the fist fight. These six men locked in this mortal struggle to see who would actually be the dominant faction, and it was not a good episode. There were some good parts. I'm going to get to the good parts, but don't worry. I'm really kind of irritated with how they're building up the Rumble because outside of a couple things, they're not doing a good job selling me on a lot of aspects of the Rumble. There are certain hints of them doing some good, but then they follow it up with a lot of bullshit. So we have Randy Orton welcoming us to Raw, and Randy wants to be part of the mixed match challenge, apparently, because him and Tessa could be there, except they don't like the mixed part. That's right. They both like to drop the N-word, don't they? They're really, really bad people, aren't they? So, anyway, we get AJ Styles coming out there, and he's, just talking about beating up a Japanese guy because it was a Pearl Harbor job. Good old Gorilla Monsoon reference there. And they're talking, and then Drew McIntyre comes out and says, "You're having an RKO measuring contest. Don't Google that. I already did. You don't want to know." But then Drew says that he, last week he had to, dig down deep and he came over several men. Wait, overcame several men. But I know that some of you thought otherwise. At least Drew McIntyre was entertaining. Randy, I really could take or leave. AJ Styles is hit and miss on promos, though he has gotten a whole lot better. Oh, we have a three-way match. But then the OC attacks, and then we go to commercial, and it was really bizarre. I thought for a second we were going to get a weird six-man, another person was going to come out. Nope, we come back, it's a three-way, and it was a good match. It was actually one of the two good matches that was on the goddamn show, because a lot of them really weren't after this. Orton did do a Styles Clash at one point. I mean, that was a bit impressive. Randy Orton, getting impersonated as AJ Styles is trying to do his brutal fisting into the ground and everything. And yes, it's a very fisting heavy show in case you didn't realize because it's all built around the fist fight. They hyped that shit out of that, and boy, did it turn out to be a load of ass. We get Randy Orton hitting an RKO, but then a Claymore kick to Orton, and Drew covers Styles for the win. Not a bad match. Drew won. I can't wait for Drew to be one of the first people eliminated after they built him up and tried to make him more entertaining. I hope I'm wrong. I actually hope he wins the Royal Rumble. I don't know who's winning the Royal Rumble. It's probably going to be somebody disappointing like Cain Velasquez, but who knows. We then get Seth Rollins and AOP, and Rollins is excited for all this fisting action and everything. That's right. I'm going to drive this into the ground because WWE drove it into the goddamn ground. He is the Monday Night Messiah. Stop trying to make it happen, Karen. It's not going to happen. We then get Ricochet versus Mojo Rawley. Why did they sign Mojo for 5 years? I have nothing against him as a person, but as a wrestler, I mean, he was barely anything when he was in the Hype Bros team with Zack Ryder. I mean, seriously, and he hasn't meant anything for a couple years. I thought this heel turn would do something. Nope, didn't do anything. Ricochet, who has broken out the recoil for a lot, of opponents to finish him off because sometimes it's just wrecking him to do 630, has to break out the 630 for Mojo Rawley. Meaning Ricochet is going to go on a goddamn losing streak if he has to break out the 630 to beat Mojo fucking Rawley. Oh, then we get the Street Profits backstage doing more promo stuff. Can you give them something to do or just keep them off TV? Seriously, these segments jumped the shark a while ago. It's not the Montez isn't entertaining. It's not Angelo isn't entertaining. I don't know what they said. I don't know. I don't care. I just don't anymore. Why are they doing this? Why are you not putting them in tag matches? Have them beat a couple jobbers, for fuck's sake. You're already feeding all the jobbers to Rowan. Maybe he's eating up the jobber budget. We then get Charlotte versus Sarah Logan, and last week they had a fight and everything, and Sarah stepped on Charlotte's robe and everything, beat that up, and then got beaten afterwards and everything. Okay, cool, so we're going to have this match. It's going to be nice and competitive. Nope, Charlotte eats Sarah alive and beats her easily. This did nothing for Sarah Logan. It did absolutely nothing. Now, I know the idea is, okay, maybe the Riot Squad will reunite during the Rumble briefly, and they'll all team up and toss out Charlotte. Okay, great, cool. Sarah Logan, unfortunately, has not meant anything to WWE or on WWE programming for a while. She had a feud with Dana Brooke on Main Event, and all due respect to the hardworking women there and the talents that wrestle on that show, but that show hasn't meant anything since it first started. I mean, that show has been absolute shit. It's just for syndication. It's just Why do they not like Sarah Logan? Oh, by the way, then Charlotte puts on her robe just, to assert her dominance and then tosses Sarah Logan over the top rope to the floor, which is how you win the Royal Rumble. The announcers kept having to say that because apparently people are fucking stupid and don't understand how the Royal Rumble works. I know that new fans tune in at times and there are children, but you don't need to hit children over the head with these rules for God's sakes. Though maybe they need to explain the rules of the Royal Rumble to the University of Kentucky students because they were saying, let's go Big Show. I guess the University of Kentucky has never been known for raising brainiacs and graduating people with any kind of goddamn smarts. Apologies to my friends in Kentucky that are actually smart, or my friends that went to the University of Kentucky that are awesome. Thank you. But to the people chain, let's go Big Show. It is not 2000. It is not 2010. Why the fuck are we chained that? I know that Big Show is a legend in this business. I use that in big quotations, so I give him credit for getting healthy, but seriously, no, just no. But that's a little bit later. What did Sarah Logan do to deserve this? I don't know. We then get Big Show talking about how he has this huge fist ready for all this whole more fisting action among a whole bunch of guys. I thought he was going to turn on Joe and Kevin. He sadly did not. We get Bork and the Heyman, ladies and gentlemen, and we get lots of boos. And Heyman saying, my client Brock Lesnar does not suck. Look, I'm sure that Heyman is he may get a little bit of creative freedom on Raw, and God forbid he's not doing a very good job if any of these storylines are his. He's doing a terrible job with some of them. But this is the same goddamn shtick. If he's being told to go out there and do the same goddamn thing, it's not entertaining. Yes, the crowd did the catchphrase with him after he had insulted them, but whatever. Fans can tend to be sheep. By the way, in case you guys wonder why I still watch this, I took an oath to not let WWE beat me. As much as it may feel like it's filleting my skin with a potato peeler to watch some of this stuff despite all the talent, I'm not going to give up. You know why I'm not going to give up? Because I'm going to outlast Vince McMahon. Maybe us fans won't. Maybe we'll all be dead and Vince McMahon will be 120 years old still controlling WWE. But anyway, this Lawler, by the way, is fucking horrific. Get Lawler off of commentary. He doesn't fucking belong there. He's a goddamn dinosaur. He should have never been brought back to commentary. Him and Vic Joseph have no goddamn chemistry. It's embarrassing. Put somebody else there with him. Maybe not Tom Phillips, but have Vic Joseph and Byron Saxton do it. Don't tell me that they can't do something. Aiden English. Have Aiden English do something. Disband 205 Live and have them go to NXT. Because 205 Live, unfortunately, isn't really doing all that much. But anyway, so, okay, cool. We get Truth here. Why? This was Truth just, rattling off a whole bunch of numbers and everything, which is probably higher than any of the students in the crowd could count. But anyway, just okay. He thought Heyman was in the Rumble. No, he didn't. Heyman wasn't in the Rumble. He's just laughing at him and everything. And in Truth's like, my bad. I unenter myself into the Rumble. Okay, cool. And then Heyman just watches. Brock beats him up. Even though Brock seemed amused by Truth, he wanted him to dance for him. He wanted him to fetch him a towel. Wait, that's the Triple H Booker T storyline. I'm still mad about that. I don't know. Brock beat up a black man and Tessa Blanchard was probably happy to see that. Guess what? I'm not going to let that go until she apologizes for being a piece of shit. So, then Brock says, that's what's up. Okay, cool, whatever. We then get Lana and Lashley in an interview segment, and they can summon flashbacks with their words. Maybe they could summon a better storyline. Maybe Lana could summon the ability to get the fuck off of WWE TV and stop, being Sable 2.0. But again, at least Sable knew her fucking place and it wasn't in wrestling. Lana needs to know her place, and it's off of TV. I don't care how bad I sound saying that. Lana and Lashley do not deserve death threats over this stuff. They do not deserve to be told to get injured and get off of TV. But Lana needs to be removed from TV and give her acting lessons Clockwork Orange style or something like that. Okay, that's torque. Maybe don't do that. But just give her acting lessons, something, drill it into her over and over, because she isn't any goddamn good. And the storyline is absolute shit, because when we have Lashley with Lana wearing apparently the remnants of a kaleidoscope as a dress versus Rusev, and at one point Rusev is just nailing Bob in the corner, Bob Lashley as he calls him, and saying, come on Bob, gross. Lawler at one point saying every wedding has ups and downs, especially on the honeymoon. Thanks, Lawler. I now have a few brain cells devoted to that, and those should be removed with a fucking spoon. This was shit. It was shit. It's not that the guys didn't try to work hard, but nobody really cared about this match. There were a couple Rusev Day chants, but everybody knew where this was going to go. Liv shows up. She gets a drink spilled on her. So Lana got Liv wet. Have fun, with the fanfic for that. And then Lashley hits the spear. This feud's continuing. You want to know why this feud's continuing? You want to know why this goddamn feud's continuing? Because then Lana and Lashley are backstage, and Lana says, nobody humiliates me. I'm a supermodel. Lana, you can be the last woman on earth, and you still be one of the ugliest people on the face of the earth. I don't care how harsh I sound towards it. Sure, they got me to buy into the fact that the character is absolute ass. The person, she probably ain't all that much better because she was a terrible wrestler. Her promos have gotten steadily worse. She can't do anything useful on TV anymore. Lana is a goddamn atrocity. The fact that they signed her for 5 years when she wouldn't even last 5 months in another company because they want women that are actually talented, that serve a purpose, that don't look like, they're goddamn lost whenever they cut a promo or they're ever in the goddamn ring. Yeah, I'm a little bit angry about this. Okay, let's get back on track and finish this because really outside the opening segment, there wasn't really anything I enjoyed, but yeah, we're getting that match next week. What match are we getting? Because I probably didn't emphasize it. Lana says, we're going to face Liv and Rusev in a mixed tag match. Great. This won't end. If this doesn't end with Lana just being fucking laid out, kayfabe, and taken off of TV until she can get acting lessons, I don't know what the point is. Because Lashley looks like he's fucking done with this. Rusev looks like he's done with this. They've already ruined Liv Morgan. They've already ruined her. They might as well just take her off TV and have her come back in a number of months when they can wash the stink of this storyline off of her. And then the Viking Raiders have an open challenge and beat the Singh brothers easily. Welcome back to Raw, Singh brothers. And then Liv and Rusev are backstage, and Liv says at one point that Karma is a bitch. Karma is this kind of stuff. Rusev had the line of the goddamn year, and probably potentially one of the worst lines ever, but it's just so goddamn funny. You come in my face, I'm going to fight you, says Rusev. Okay. Bit weird, but whatever. I guess Lashley really is the almighty. I don't know why Lawler was here for the contract signing because neither of these women are young enough for him. They're out of high school. But anyway, we get Becky and Asuka with the contract signing. Becky is all business and everything. Is just upset because she hasn't been able to beat Asuka. It's been haunting her. Asuka's there, shouts in Japanese. And Kairi's also there. They go to sign. Missed in the face. Asuka giving Becky a very painful facial, which some of my exes know about. Moving on. And Becky reacted just like my exes did. This is a very exes heavy segment, by the way. Asuka's laughing and everything. Becky's cutting this very odd promo. It wasn't good. She sold the mist really good. And then the promo just wasn't. I don't know what the promo was. Something about, it was almost babbling like the Ultimate Warrior. And I watched his 1990 pre-Rumble promo, which was very, very bizarre. But something about you earn the money, you earn the fame, this kind of stuff, and then, you find out it's all not worth it. I'm going to beat you. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. It was very, very weird. We then get Rey and Andrade in a ladder match for the U.S. title next week. We then get Zelina and Andrade and Rey going back and forth in respective interview segments talking about criminal acts. Why do I get the feeling somebody did this, and had them intentionally say these words because they're Hispanic? Because it seems like something Vince would do or Michael Hayes would do. At one point, they had Andrade rush his line. So instead of saying a ladder match, he said a liar match. And now I want to see them fight over a lyre hanging above the ring. And I mean the instrument, by the way. I don't mean an actual lyre because that would be a lot of people. Hey, have Vince up there because that'd be a definite liar. But no, I mean the instrument. In fact, I now demand to see that because it couldn't have been any worse than anything else we saw on this show. We get a Buddy in Black package. That really sounds kind of gross. Promos aren't Alistair's strong suit. Stop having him pause so much. Stop. Seriously. I like Alistair. Alistair and Buddy Murphy had a great match here. They really had a great match. Finally, something good. This was one of the other good things on the show. Because part of the contract signing was fine, then it ended weird. Lawler talked about facing Randy Savage, Nick Bockwinkel, and Bill Dundee, who were all better than him. And unfortunately, Randy Savage is not here to basically slap Jerry Lawler. I mean, everybody should be allowed to, just run Jerry Lawler off of the stage and just say, get out of here, old man. Get out of here, dinosaur. You don't deserve to be here. He's a fucking joke now. He's a caricature. It's probably hitting on many of the young girls in the crowd. And I'm not throwing out any accusations that don't have a little bit of merit to them. So the match was great. What do you expect from these guys? These guys had great strikes, great kicks. They sold a whole lot of stuff really goddamn well. Did different innovative spots. It was really good shit. I enjoyed this. There was a bit of a weird botched 3 count that maybe was botched, maybe not. Because Buddy barely kicked out of the black mass and then got a black mass when he was on his knees. 1, 2, 3. Then Buddy Murphy was out for the next 2 segments. Because then we get Buddy at ringside. Charlie's trying to interview him, and Buddy just wouldn't leave. He was like, out there near the little timekeeper area. And Rowan versus a jobber. Could you stop this? Could you just either get rid of Rowan or do something else with him? This cage thing is goddamn bullshit. He gets bit by it and has blood on his hand. And you could practically see in the goddamn cage and see that there was nothing in there. Great job. Great camera work there. If Heyman came up with this, he deserves to be fired. If Vince came up with this, he deserves to be fired. Whoever came up with this is a goddamn idiot because it's not going anywhere. And Eric Rowan is a goddamn charisma vacuum. Not like Brandy Rhodes, but he's a charisma vacuum. So then he wins easily, but he's still there at ringside. And I believe Vic Joseph said, could you imagine if Rowan wins the Royal Rumble? If Eric Rowan wins the Royal Rumble, you just need to shut the company down right there. I'm not saying the guy isn't adequate in the ring, but fucking hell, that'd be worse than Vince winning. That would be worse than, Luger and Brett winning in 1994. That's worse than, Big John Studd, God rest his soul, at the end of his career winning the 89 Rumble. Worse than Batista. It's not going to happen, but seriously, Vic, why would you say that? And then we get Big Show, Kevin Owens, and Samoa Joe versus the Monday Night Messiah and AOP. It's the fisting match. And they jump Big Show during his entrance, and then we get kendo sticks from Joe and Kevin, and then we get, table in the ring, and Owens does run up the little incline thing and does a really cool dive. That was the one good spot of this match. Mind you, fist fight, no pinfalls, no submissions. It ends when the referee cannot, notices that one team cannot continue. Okay, cool. Rollins then asks Buddy for help. Hey, help us. He eventually does help and low blows Big Show. And it was a mess. It was a goddamn mess. It was a fucking, WCW, Nitro thrown together bullshit thing. And they eventually beat up Big Show enough. I believe AOP hits a double powerbomb and stuff like that. A couple other moves. And that's it. That's what you brought Big Show back for. That's what you brought him back for in 2020. It just... Sure, Buddy joining Rollins' little group, maybe that's the way he finally beats Alistair. Okay, cool. I'm sorry, but it's just, I don't have any more interest in Rollins being a heel than I did with him as a babyface. I just don't. I'm kind of over Rollins. And it's funny, maybe the way to beat Alistair Black is to team with Tyler Black. There we go. D+. There was a couple good parts of this show, but overall this show was a mess. Did not help a whole lot of people. And that Lana Lashley Rusev Liv thing brought it at least down a grade and a half. If they don't end this thing next week, and I mean end it, fucking end it, just nuke the goddamn storyline, I don't know what they're doing here. D+, maybe a poll, I don't know. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. Before I go, if the weather is good, myself and the Durbinator will be reviewing Dynamite. Otherwise, he may review NXT and I may just review Dynamite. It just depends on the weather. Anyway, I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.